Because back then it was all about matching the aesthetics. If somebody would see you wearing sneakers with a dress, they would say she doesn't have any taste. Everything that is too exaggerated at some point will look dated. Hi guys, so let's talk about trends today. We're gonna look at this or that piece from an aesthetic viewpoint, and is it worth to invest in it in the first place. We talk about more or less timeless wardrobe, and especially different body shapes and different kinds of aesthetics that women have. Also, I think it's impossible to feel the thing if you don't know its history. So first thing I'm gonna talk about is bomber. The bomber jacket was originally designed for military pilots in the early 1900s, with the first official flight jacket being introduced by the US Army in 1917. The jacket's design evolved over the years with added features like fur collars and leather sleeves, and it became a popular fashion item in the 50s and the 60s. So from my viewpoint, bomber is a great investment. Doesn't matter what your style is and what your body type is. Bomber is a piece that is quite uncertain in shape. It's rounded, unconstructed, and in majority cases made with stiffer fabrics. In case you buy this unconstructed classic bomber made with leather or denim, if you're petite and dry, meaning not curvy, not voluptuous, just make sure you choose everything else sleek. This way, this bomber will be a great addition to your look. If you choose everything oversized, then you would spend a little bit more time to figure out how not to look stocky and kind of close to the ground. So that is the problem sometimes that we petites have. If you're on a taller side, that can be a great addition. You can sometimes mix it with oversized things. If you are curvy woman, whether you are tall or small, that can make you look quite heavy. Again, if you wear something as a contrast underneath, something slimmer or something soft, something with more lightweight fabric, for example, that can balance the severeness of the bomber. If you don't like edgy looks and you still prefer that classic look, nowadays they also make bombers in more classic manner. So look at that direction, and here you actually have much more variety of outfits that you can incorporate it with. Just because it has more structure, it's cleaner looking just in general, so it's less likely make you look stocky, oversized, or heavy. Number 2, cropped jackets and cardigans. Cropped cardigan jackets, also known as bolero jackets, have been popular since the early 1900s. They were originally worn as a practical and stylish cover-up for evening gowns, but over time they became a popular fashion item in their own right. In the 1930s, they were often made from luxurious materials like fur, while in the 50s and the 60s, they were popular in bright colors and bold patterns. So from my viewpoint, anyone can wear a cropped jacket. It's just a matter of proportions. There are some women with some proportions, for example, they have quite large head, elongated head, long arms. Your head will be unproportionately big and the torso will be unproportionately short. As a contrast, your arms will be unproportionately long. In the majority cases, other people never look at details that you consist of. They look at overall thing. My whole channel is about this, yeah? How we work on small details but make them sound like one same song. So if that crop jacket is doing that, whether choose monochromatic look, so everything would be same color, that this way it will not crop it too much, or just don't use it, use regular size. We talk a lot about Kibbe body types, so I'm gonna leave the link down below on my playlist. Women like dramatics, for example, they have narrow bone structure, they are quite elongated and sharp looking. So of course for them, that kind of short bolero jacket sometimes can look disproportionate, but not for all of them. All of them are still quite different, but they normally don't look as good when they crop their body too much with different color blocks. So especially if this block will be too short, it can make them look quite disproportionate. If you're a curvy woman, average size or small, bolero jacket will be amazing on you. Better choose something slightly rounded that will look more in harmony with your curves. Also, if you combine it with waist emphasis, all that will be very harmonizing. But people who look their best in crop jackets is of course petite and dry women who are slightly tomboyish in figure, rectangular figure, sharp shoulders, sharper bones, straight in figure, a little bit more flat chested here, not very pronounced chest. For them, that crop jacket, especially if it's short and quite sharp in outline, will look amazing, especially if they choose it in a contrasted color. Because for petite women, color blocks actually look much better. They don't drag them down. Number 3, maxi skirt. The long maxi skirt has been a fashion staple since the 1960s, when it became popular as a symbol of the bohemian and hippie movements. Maxi skirts were often made from lightweight fabrics like cotton or chiffon and featured colorful prints and patterns. In the 1970s, maxi skirts continued to be popular and were often worn with with platform shoes and denim jackets. Today they come in a variety of styles and materials from flowy and feminine to structured and tailored. They can be narrow or bouffant skirts. They can be made with thinner fabric that drapes easily or with more stiff fabric like denim. All those skirts look amazing, but just on different type of a woman, and each one of these skirts have different type of aesthetic. Now you have to decide which aesthetic you want to go for. I'm only gonna talk about the figures now. So women with voluptuous figures, especially who are on a taller side, they would look great with long skirts, especially with bouffant skirts, because any bouffant skirts is creating a contrast with the waist, so it's already created kind of that 8 shape of your outfit, and normally for curvy women that 8 shape looks very balanced. If a woman is quite flat and more straight in figure, then this bouffant skirt actually can cut their body into 2 pieces, and it can make them look slightly more angular than they are, as a contrast with this bouffant element. So for them I recommend just going for narrower skirts. Now if the skirt is very stiff, again for curvy girls, I recommend you to combine this stiff skirt with something more gentle and flowing on top here. Whether you choose in a blouse or a shirt or a t-shirt, better choose something softer in fabric and something that would accommodate your curves a little bit more, just to balance the severeness of the skirt, because if you go for everything severe, this is when it plays too much as a contrast with your soft and voluptuous body. If you're petite and voluptuous, then of course it would be good if you would wear some delicate shoes with some heels or wedge platforms with narrow toe part. That can balance it a little bit and not drag you down too much. If you are petite and quite sharp in bone structure, then in this case you just better choose something more stiff and narrow, and especially something asymmetric and something that shows your legs. It can be, for example, asymmetric triangular cut at the front, or some cut at the back, some cut at the side, so not to create a wooden box. We want some lightness, so the asymmetry in those cuts give you that lightness. Or you can also go for stretchy long skirts. In this case, the best thing for you would be head to toe, very narrow silhouette, maybe adding a little bit of platforms if you want to go for that. Number 4, suit vest. The suit vest, also known as a waistcoat, has a long history in men's fashion, but its use in women's wardrobe is a more recent development. In the early 20th century, women began to adopt the suit as a professional garment, often wearing a matching jacket and skirt. However, it wasn't until the 1970s and 1980s that women started incorporating suit vests into their outfits. The vest became a popular choice for women who wanted to add a touch of formality and structure to their attire. In the 1990s, the suit vest became a key element of the power dressing trend. The vest was often worn over a short or blouse, paired with matching pants or a skirt. Since then, the suit vest has become a versatile piece in women's wardrobes. The vest can be worn as part of a full suit or paired with other garments for a more casual or creative look. In female wardrobe, it appeared a bit later, and especially worn by itself without any shirt underneath. That is quite new thing, and that appeared around 90s with that minimalistic and quite tomboyish style. So as far as it's a flat and stiff piece of wardrobe, not every curvy woman or voluptuous woman can wear this, unless it's made specifically to accommodate the curves, whether it's too narrow for your chest and fit in the stomach, or on contrary, if you size up a little bit around your chest area, it looks great, but then it goes down straight around your belly. I love the vests. I have several of them, and I wear them by themselves or with some basic shirts, t-shirts, and I like it in a hot weather as well, because I don't like wearing bras too much, and normally all the vests are made with 2 layers, and here underneath everything is breathing, so to me it's such a great piece. I was recently wearing one of them actually on my video of Disney Princesses Body Types. This is my linen green vest that I just adore. Number 5, stripy polo. The stripy polo short, also known as a rugby short, has its origins in rugby in the 19th century. The short's horizontal stripes of different colors helped distinguish team of the field. It later became popular among other sports teams and in casual menswear, particularly in the mod and preppy fashion movements in the 60s and 70s. This piece looks small and quite sharp in geometrics, so every woman who is very large or very voluptuous might feel like it cheapens her look a little bit, unless she chooses correct colors, correct size for her, It's a little bit more work. So the best bodies for that kind of polo, from my opinion, would be from moderate size to petite women with more narrow bone structure or more sharp in bones. First of all, for them, that color blocks look very fresh. It won't look out of context for them, and they can style it pretty easily with anything. And for voluptuous women and for large bone structure, it can be a little bit too small piece and noisy and a little bit fussy even. But it's more aesthetic wise. I'm not talking about that it's not gonna fit you. Just in general, it can fit to anybody. Number 6, striped polo sweater. The striped polo sweater is a variation of the stripy polo shirt, popularized as a preppy fashion staple in the mid-20th century. It features horizontal stripes of different colors and is made from wool or cotton. The sweater has recently seen a resurgence in popularity. Mostly it's dark blue stripes on white or black stripes on white. From my viewpoint, amazing investment for anyone. I think it looks great on any kind of a body, whether you're tall or small or moderate, whether you're voluptuous or not very voluptuous, or you're very straight and skinny. The only thing here, if you're petite, try to choose something with a more precise outline, something cropped or at least not too elongated, not with too dropped shoulders, not too long sleeves, not too oversized. It can look slightly bulky on you and not as classy, because this polo is very classic looking. Number 7, broad shoulder coats. Broad shoulder coats for women have been a recurring fashion trend throughout history. In the 1940s, broad shoulders were a popular feature in women's fashion, with military-inspired coats featuring shoulder pads to create a structured, powerful look. The trend returned in the 1980s, with power dressing becoming a prominent theme in women's fashion. Shoulder pads were used to create a more masculine silhouette, and broad-shouldered coats were worn as a symbol of authority and confidence in the workplace. This type of coats look best for tall and quite dry women, not very voluptuous in figure. If you have that body type, I think for you it's gonna be great investment. Maybe not super oversized, because I'm sure everything that is too exaggerated at some point will look dated. So if you want to invest for a long time, just choose something not super wide, maybe a little bit wide. If you're a voluptuous woman, my suggestions would be wear something that would accommodate your curves more underneath that blazer and don't close it. Just wear it opened, so we would see your curves underneath, because it's quite heavy, geometric, and quite severe piece. Also, if you're petite, I don't recommend going too much oversized. It's just not gonna look trendy even. It can look like a caricature. Just better go for something oversized still, but for your size. Can be slightly more oversized. If you are dry and small, I recommend you to wear everything else very narrow and in contrasted colors with this blazer. In this case, it can play as a contrast and can be a great trendy addition to your wardrobe. Not everything has to be narrow. If you are small and voluptuous, it's a little bit harder. Maybe just don't choose something too elongated and too severe, bulky and wide. Still go for narrower size. Number 8, crop tops. Crop tops have been a part of women's fashion for decades, with roots in the 1940s when women wore crop tops with high-waisted pants or skirts. In the 1960s, crop tops became popular among the youth counterculture and were often worn with low-rise jeans or shorts. The trend resurfaced in the 1980s, with crop tops being paired with leggings and high-waisted pants. In the 1990s, crop tops became a staple of grunge and hip-hop fashion. It's very good investment from my viewpoint, because it's great for layering. You can basically put anything on top. Shirt, layer it with blazer, layer it with coat. And it's actually quite universal for majority of body types. I'm very old-fashioned lady, so for me, I would probably choose something that would cover my belly button at the same time to show my skin more around the ribs rather than at my waistline. So whether you're tall or small, whether you're curvy tall or curvy small or curvy moderate or just regular moderate, I think for any woman, if she styles it correctly and is building her outfit around that piece also correctly, that piece can actually be very helpful for you. The only case where I would be slightly careful with this outfit is bigger and more elongated head and smaller torso and elongated arms. In this case, your torso will just look too shrinked and too small, and your head much bigger than that is. Number 9. Cargo pants. Cargo pants were first designed for military use, but they became popular in women's fashion in the late 90s and early 2000s. The pants feature large pockets on the thighs, giving them a distinctive look. In the early 2000s, cargo pants were a popular trend in women's fashion, often paired with crop tops and platform sneakers. It's more 90s hip-hop style. Also, it looks quite casual and sometimes too casual. If you still want to invest in more trendy pieces, choose cargo jeans. This is where cargo pants stop being that slouchy looking and start being quite classic and classy looking. The way you style it is pretty much same as with wide pants. Unfortunately, for us petite girls, it's a bit harder to style that unless we show our ankle when we are wearing wider pants. So I probably would not recommend it for petite girls unless cargo pants are quite narrow in shape and you go for that style. In some cases, especially for curvy girls, it can add some slouchiness. If you're one of those who wants to look elegant most of the time, not that trendy and edgy, but just elegant, then probably this piece is not for you, especially if you are curvy. That can make you look slightly stocky. Number 10. Ruffles on clothes. Ruffles have been a popular fashion detail for women's clothing for centuries, with roots in the Renaissance period. During the 18th and 19th centuries, ruffles were a common embellishment for women's dresses and blouses, adding a feminine touch to the garments. In the 20th century, ruffles continued to be a popular trend in women's fashion, appearing in a variety of styles and materials. They were often used to add texture and dimension to garments and were popular in dresses, blouses, skirts, and even pants. Today, ruffles remain a popular detail in women's fashion. They can be used to add a romantic or playful touch to an outfit. If you're a curvy woman, that is just for you. You will not go wrong with ruffles. And something with ruffles is actually a great balance for you. Because sometimes if you're wearing something severe, straight, and quite geometric, those ruffles can balance and soften the look. So you will always look like it was all on purpose, it was all on point. If you are petite, preferably choose smaller ruffles, because if they're too large, especially if you're not curvy and you are more dry looking, then big ruffles can make you look very slouchy and it can drag you down. If you are tall and quite dry and quite muscular, a lot of ruffles can be a bit too much. Then you can always balance it with something more structured. Again, jeans or denim maxi skirt. Number 11. Denim on denim. Denim on denim, also known as the Canadian tuxedo, became a popular fashion trend in the 50s and 60s, worn by celebrities such as Marilyn Monroe and Elvis Presley. The term Canadian tuxedo is a slang term used to describe an outfit that consists entirely of denim clothing. It typically includes a denim jacket or short paired with denim jeans or shorts. The term is said to have originated in the 50s when American singer Bing Crosby was denied entry into a Canadian hotel because he was wearing an old denim outfit. Levi's, the famous denim brand, later created a custom denim tuxedo for Crosby as a joke. The trend continued into the 70s and 80s, with denim jackets and jeans becoming a staple of casual fashion. In the 90s, denim on denim experienced a resurgence in popularity, with celebrities and fashion icons like Britney Spears and Justin Timberlake wearing the trend on the red carpet. However, the look fell out of favor in the early 2000s, with many considering it outdated and unfashionable. In recent years, denim on denim has made a comeback in women's fashion. I think this is for anyone, and denim on denim will never get out of style. But of course, it depends on how you style it and what pieces you have in your wardrobe. What can happen sometimes if you choose this combination is that you make it look too heavy. Especially I'm talking about curvy women, soft women. You should know that denim is a fabric that normally keeps its shape and it's standing straight. It can look a little bit like box on you. But there are many denim shirts that are quite soft and quite thin. This is what would be actually very good for you. It will go around your chest and go narrower around your waist. You can tuck it in your jeans, for example, or long denim skirt, and you're good to go. For anybody who is moderate to taller, especially if you are dry and lean and quite narrow and maybe a bit flat, not curvy, for you it can look amazing, whatever you choose. If you're petite, just don't choose something too oversized and wide. Just choose narrower pieces, but still you can try different combinations. And especially if you're small and not curvy, but more straight, that will look amazing on you. This is such a great investment in your wardrobe because you can mix it with so many different things. You will always look more altogether and less tired, less slouchy, because this fabric is more stiff, so it keeps its shape and looks more geometric. And more geometric pieces actually give freshness to you. Now let's talk a little bit about soft textures. Number 12, sheer clothing. The use of sheer fabrics can be traced back to ancient civilizations like Egypt and Greece, where sheer fabrics like muslin were used to create flowing, lightweight garments. In the 18th and 19th centuries, sheer fabrics like silk and chiffon became popular in women's fashion, particularly in the form of delicate sheer blouses and dresses. Sheer fabrics were often used in combination with other materials, such as lace and embroidery, to create intricate and ornate designs. In the 1920s, the flapper style embraced sheer fabrics with dresses and blouses made from lightweight fabrics like silk, georgette, and netting. Sheer fabrics continued to be popular in women's fashion throughout the 20th century, with designers using sheer materials to create everything from glamorous evening gowns to casual bohemian-inspired looks. Sheer fabrics can be used to create a variety of effects, from subtly revealing to bold and dramatic. I recently made a shorts video on TikTok and here about Charli XCX when she was wearing that naked dress. I was quite sharp on my tone. This video even got deleted on TikTok. It's still here on my shorts though. I'm just a very old-fashioned girl. What I meant to say is when it's too transparent and you can see private parts of your body. To me, that is a little bit too vulgar. If that sheerness is somewhere around your body, especially if you are that curvy type of a woman, very sensual, whether you're small, moderate or tall, like Monica Bellucci for example, that can look very sensual on you. If you are more straight, again, that can add some sensual elements to your look. It's just a matter of where is the sheerness. And if the private parts of the body are closed, I think this is a great addition. The fabric itself, it looks very sensual, very evening-like, very sexy, and it can be quite revealing. If it's a kimono, I think it's another great addition to your wardrobe. If it's a homeware or it's a summer you go to the beach. Number 13, metallic clothes. Metallic clothes have a history that can be traced back to ancient civilizations, where metallic materials like gold and silver were used to make clothing and accessories for the wealthy and powerful. In the 1920s, metallic fabrics became popular in fashion, particularly in the form of lame, a shimmering fabric made from metallic threads. Lame was often used to create glamorous evening gowns and was a favorite material of Hollywood stars. In the 60s and 70s, metallic clothing experienced a resurgence, with designers experimenting with new materials like silver and gold lame, lurex, and metallic leather to create futuristic and space-age looks. In the 1980s, metallic clothing became a staple of the club scene, with disco-inspired outfits featuring shiny fabrics and sequins. Now, this is the case where I don't recommend you to invest in it unless you're very, very sure. And if you do want to buy something metallic, I recommend you to go for something metallic on the bottom rather than by your face. First of all, metallic fabric, and I'm not talking about shimmery fabric, I'm not even talking about glitters. I'm talking about this metallic surface, which reflects light very much. Sometimes it's golden, but most of the time it's silver. If you put it close to your face and if it's a quite big piece, not just a piece of jewelry, but a shirt, for example. For darker skin girls, I think it can look quite stunning. Girls with light skin, especially with very light skin, I don't recommend it just because it can make your skin look dull and matte as a contrast, especially for lighter skin girls. That kind of metallic surface can accentuate not only all unwanted shadows on your face, but also wrinkles and even redness and some pigmentation. And I think it's quite hard to create outfits with this. You wear it 1 or 2 times and then it will accumulate dust in your wardrobe. And the last but not least, let's talk about 2 types of shoes. The first shoes is chunky loafers. Chunky loafers have become a popular trend in women's fashion in recent years, with roots in the 1990s grunge and punk fashion movements. The shoes feature a thick, chunky sole and a slip-on design with a loafer style appear. In the 90s, chunky loafers were often worn with flannel shirts and ripped jeans as a part of a grunge-inspired fashion aesthetic. Today, chunky loafers are a versatile and comfortable shoe option for women, suitable for both casual and more formal occasions. What is the aesthetic of chunky loafers? It adds you edginess, tomboyishness, and class at the same time. It looks expensive, it looks altogether. It can look heavy and stiff. If you're a woman with curvy body and if you love loafers like that, probably choose something a little bit more delicate, or if you want to go for real chunky ones on the platform, just open your ankles or open your wrists or make waist emphasis or add something a little bit softer on your body just to balance that heaviness and severeness of that piece. That will look amazing. And for women who are tall or small or moderate size and who are quite straight, not very voluptuous or curvy, that can be an amazing piece. And again, if you feel like it's too heavy for you, just open your ankles, open your wrists, or have some waist emphasis, just not to overbulk the look. From my viewpoint, it is investment for many years. I found some good pieces for you. I'm gonna leave all the links down below. Number 15, Fisherman Sandals. Fisherman sandals have a long history that dates back to ancient times. They were originally designed as a functional shoe for fishermen who needed footwear that was both sturdy and breathable for working long hours on boats and fishing in various weather conditions. The shoes were made from durable materials like leather and had a distinctive look, featuring a closed toe and heel with cutouts on the sides to allow water to drain quickly. In the 60s and 70s, fisherman sandals became popular in the United States as part of the hippie movement. They were embraced as a comfortable and practical shoe that was suitable for outdoor activities like hiking and camping. So what aesthetic we get from them? Summery, European, effortless, casual, slightly edgy, but at the same time quite expensive. If it's a good quality, you can actually see that. There's only one downside detail in that. I think it's too flat sometimes. So to balance that flatness, petite girls might want to go for everything very narrow on top here, or you can go for fisherman sandals with some platforms. You can also wear a summer short dress with them, will look stunning. If you are moderate size or more on the taller side, you can always combine it with just regular outfit, jeans and top, pants and top, or as a contrast wear that feminine and flowing summer dress. Also can't go wrong with that. It's very trendy nowadays because back then it was all about matching the aesthetics. If somebody would see you wearing sneakers with a dress, they would say she doesn't have any taste. And this is one of the biggest differences between nowadays trends and fashion of the past. And now it's actually much more flattering to the majority because now we can mix aesthetics in one outfit, and whichever shape of the body we have, we can use basically anything. It just depends on how you style it. Alright, I really hope that this video was helpful. I will see you soon. Bye bye guys.